Good afternoon. Welcome to Daily Cup of Tea with Mrs. T. Today is all about literary references. Oh, yes, books. So, the first thing is my cup. I've introduced this before, but it's my quote from Alice in Wonderland. So, there's book reference number 1. You better keep track of that. So, book reference number 2, my daughter's laughing at me. Book reference number 2 happens to be over my shoulder. You remember my sourdough starter? Well, I named it. Its name is Albert Camus, or as my husband would call it, Albert Camus. So he grew a little bit because I fed him. These are gigantic bottles, by the way. These are not the small mason jars. These are the big ones. And now I have 2 because this is his twin that just finally decided to appear. No, I split it and fed both of them because I knew I wanted to make something with this one, but now this one's gigantic and I made too much. So now I'm gonna have to make even more sourdough stuff. Good news is I don't have to buy yeast for things. So that's my second literary reference. If you don't know who Albert Camus is, go look it up. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3 is my shirt, How to Kill a Mockingbird. No, that's not the name of the book. If you're that kid that always calls it How to Kill a Mockingbird, knock it off. It's To Kill a Mockingbird. It is not an instruction manual, okay? It's not a step-by-step process of how to take little birds in your yard and kill them, okay? It's not that. It's To Kill a Mockingbird because it's a sin. It's a sin. I swear, did you not learn anything in 9th grade? Speaking of 9th grade, some of you read Lord of the Flies. So today I was playing Animal Crossing and, well, let's just say that I did a couple of things. This was during my break, by the way. The first thing is I realized that my cooler that I have by my campsite also doubles as a wardrobe. Who knew you'd put your clothing in a cooler? Do with that what you will. I don't even know what to say about that. Secondly, I built a basketball court. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I designed the floor and everything. It really does bother me that the bottom corner isn't complete, but I'll fix that some other time, maybe. Probably not. And thirdly, which brings us to our literary reference, I have this pig that lives on my island named Curly, and she likes to lift weights and work out. So Curly, I happened to come across right after I'd picked up a conch, and I just felt it was only appropriate to make sure that Piggy got the conch so that she could speak, she could speak. If you haven't read Lord of the Flies, you will not find that as amusing as I do. Piggy better watch out for some boulders on the island. I mean Curly, Piggy. All right. How many literary references is that today? How many was it, Reagan?
4?
Yep, 4. 4 literary references in one episode. Can you believe it? Holy nerd alert. All right. So I'm going to keep it pretty short today. It is Thursday. It was really great to see some of you at the teams meetings this morning. So I had 2 of those, one for 5th period 10th grade English and one for 6th period AP English. I like that we can sometimes talk about the things that we're doing and share what we've been up to. That's always a little bit more interesting than just staring at each other and hearing Mrs. Thomas mouth breathe the whole time. So yeah, it's good to see you guys talk about some video games and some Netflix binging. A lot of people doing artwork, reading books, cool stuff like that. So that's good to continue here. Today is the day that assignments are due. And so I hope that you guys are working on those if you didn't turn those in already. Tomorrow is the day that I will go through and give credit or tell you that you need to redo it, whichever the case may be, and also mark you for attendance. If I don't get through all the grading, then I'll do that also over the weekend so that you would know that, but I will at least put in the attendance contact that we've had. So if you were in the Teams meeting, I should have already marked that. If you have emailed me about the work in class, then I would have marked you as having contact this week. But the last way is by having your assignment turned in. So at this point, that's kind of where we're at. If we don't mark you as present in the class, then that means you're put on a list for next week for administration to come in contact with. So they'll be trying to get a hold of you to make sure you're okay. So what else? I'll send out your new assignment for next week. I'll send that out this weekend, but you probably won't be able to access it and do it until Monday morning. That's just normal. And then that one will be due again on Thursday, unless I tell you otherwise. I'll always tell you that in the instructions for the assignment. 10th graders, remember that I always create a PowerPoint that you really do need to have open as you're completing the assignment itself, because it explains things more than the document does. The hope is that you use the PowerPoint like a lecture, and you're able to read through the things and watch the videos. But I've also been putting out video lectures that go with those PowerPoints. They take longer than what it would for you to just click through it, but I do explain things in a lot more detail. So if you find yourself stuck, please watch those tutorial videos. AP Kids, yours is pretty self-explanatory on what you're doing each week. Next week, we're going to separate it and have one assignment for those who are planning on taking the exam and another assignment for those who are not. So if I'm going to be sending out an email probably tomorrow asking you to vote. I think that will work. I'm going to see. It might end up being a Canvas survey because I need to see who is taking the exam and who is not, and then who do I not hear from. That's so next week I kind of know who to expect what from at this point, because people may or may not have decided to not take the exam. All right. By the way, tea of the day, can you guess? It's my favorite. You guessed it, chai. Okay, last thing. 14,000 things to be happy about, which I'm usually not. You know that. Oh, let's see. The universe is telling me to stop at this. Nope, a couple more. That page, no, that page. And about down here. Peppermint stick ice cream with whipped cream topping and fudge in a small pitcher on the side. Oh, so the fudge is in a small pitcher on the side. That way you can add as much fudge as you want. Because you know, sometimes you put the fudge all on top and it gets all cold, or you just get a big old mouthful of fudge. On the side, it's a pretty good deal. You got the peppermint and that and the whipped cream. That sounds delicious. All right, that kind of makes me happy. Kind of makes me happy. Have a fantastic Thursday. May the force be with you. I will see you guys tomorrow, unless I forget like I did on Tuesday. Look forward to looking at your assignments. Bye.